Hi, everyone. This is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. And today I'm so excited to be with you. I am on two different platforms, so I'm going to be going back and forth between the two of them. So, one of the things I really want you to understand is that we have a double full moon in the sign of Capricorn coming at us really, really quickly, but that is going to be the fun part. Now, the next part is while I'm talking about the full moon and kind of getting you that information, if you feel led to, you can send me a question, put it on your screen. I would love that. One of the things I will be doing is answering your questions. Now, I have to feel a connection to you because sometimes people ask, well, why don't you answer my question? Sometimes it's the question is really, really hard or difficult, or sometimes it's just not really clear, or I'm not getting a connection to your angels and guides. So make sure that your question is really, really clear. That is really fun. Hello, Miss Kathy. And as you click on, say hi to me. I love that part. I love connecting with your energy. So make sure that you click in and say hi to me. I got Bronk. It's kind of a cute one. Cute name, but I will be talking about our double full moon in the sign of Capricorn and how that's going to be like affecting us over the next literally a little over a month. That is going to be really cool. But then if you have an angel card question, I will stop everything else if I've got my connection with you, and I will answer your question. So make sure it's a good, clear one, okay? Hello, Talis. How are you doing? I'm excited that y'all are with me. I am excited that you are connecting with me. I'm like super, super excited about all of this. This is kind of like one of those like, yay, fun things. So let's talk about a full moon energy. Whenever you get your question ready, make sure that you post it on there and I will be answering as best I possibly can, especially if I've got a great connection to you. And make sure that you like, share, and send me some hearts. I love the hearts. But let's just talk about our full moons. So full moons technically are all about like kind of God's way or creator's way of kind of asking us to like, what are you ready to let go of? Like, what are you ready for me to carry for you? What would you like? And so full moons are all about that drawing up that energy of like powerful portals that can really let us release things that we've already completed. We've already checked it all off. Maybe it's things that we are really kind of like falling through with, or they're not affecting us the way it's affecting everybody else. Hello, Oliver. This is a great way to kind of really get this amazing energy. Now, whenever a full moon comes up, it's one of those, it's all about this releasing kind of things that you've been holding on to. Now, this one that's coming up, literally today, tomorrow, kind of right about now, is we also have it under our summer solstice. So this is kind of bringing in this super high, amazing energy in there. It's super high, amazing energy because our summer solstice is kind of like literally flipping our world around. And it's one of those, we've been like getting more and more and more sunlight. And then today we had so much sunlight for such a long period of time, even in Houston. I know it's crazy. But then on top of that, I will say kind of the cool part is that we ended up like with our, summer solstice. So that's going to be like pushing us into like some new realms and kind of taking over and thinking about things differently. On top of that, our full moon is in the sign of Capricorn. And really Capricorn really expects us to kind of like step into new alignments, new agreements, kind of like, what is your new agreement? And a lot of times it's not with other people, it's with ourselves. Like, what are we going to do with ourselves? What are we going to fix? How are we going to fix this? What are we going to do next? All of those amazing energies are coming at us. And that's kind of like a really cool thing. Like, what are we going to fix or change? Not what someone else wants us to fix or change, but it's like, what do I want to fix or change? And that is a great way to really think about this energy. And it really gives us the time and the power to kind of like make our own choices. Like, what are we going to choose to keep and what are we going to choose to let go of? Like, how are we going to kind of deal with this energy that's like, interesting, because this energy is all about releasing and letting go and kind of finding a new order. A lot of times I have a lot of friends that are like this. I used to be a long time ago, and I thankfully got rid of it. But as soon as one thing falls off their calendar, they're putting like 5 or 6 more things in that place. And it's not healthy. It's one of those, like, it is super harsh to us. And a lot of times, like, we're overdoing, overgiving, overgifting to everybody else, but we're really not giving giving to ourselves. It's one of those we're giving to everybody else. And I know this is a true clair-sensitive thing because when we overgive to other people, it's kind of like I'll make you happy and you happy and you happy and you happy and you happy. And then eventually, once everybody else is happy, then I'll be happy. And it really doesn't work that way. It really, really doesn't. That's kind of the harsh part of it is it really doesn't work that way. It can be one of those like super harsh, super kind of like amazing energies, but it really doesn't really make it easier on us. And that's the hard part for us is that it's really not making it easier on us. It's not helping us kind of get um, getting us where we want to go because it's one of those we're so much doing battle with like getting everybody else happy and everybody else in a content place, everybody else in a happy place. But it's one of those we're not making ourselves happy. We're overworking ourselves, overdoing ourselves. And that's the part that can be a little bit like harsh on us. It's like, what the heck is going on? If y'all have any questions that y'all want to ask me, I've got my angel cards right here. This is my favorite deck. It's one of those ask me an angel card, an angel question, and I will answer that. Or depending on what you've got, it's one of those. Some of y'all have already got a couple amazing connections to, but it's one of those. If you're waiting, it's one of those. Make sure your question is really, really clear so I can get that answer for you. But we're going to keep talking about our double full moon in the sign of Capricorn because it's literally this full moon is a Capricorn full moon. And then also in July, it's a full moon in the sign of Capricorn. So that is going to be like some crazy energy. Very rarely does that happen that we have two full moons or two new moons in the same sign. It just happened technically this way. So it's kind of like, yes, what do we get to do? And how do we get to work through this energy? And I will say it's kind of pushing us to be like more responsible because that's usually what Capricorns are. They're usually pretty responsible. And this can be a little bit overwhelming. And really kind of what we want to kind of put on there is like, what are we accepting for ourselves? What is the energy that we're willing to accept for ourselves? Because if we're not willing to accept our highest purpose and our highest energy and making ourselves a priority in our lives, we're always making everybody else a priority. That can be pretty heavy energy. It can be very, very, very unhealthy for us. Kathy's asking, doesn't it help? I think it's one of those. It's Kathy. That is definitely a clair-sensitive question because it's one of those. I think the more we start to realize, like we're going on. Hi, Miss Sandra. When we are coming on and we're trying to make everybody else happy, we're trying to make everybody else satisfied. We're trying to make everybody else like happy, joy. We're really not making ourselves happy. We are so in kind of like caught up in making everybody else happy that we kind of forget about ourselves. And it's that clair-sensitive energy. And I think some people, I don't want to say like prey on it, but it's one of those like they kind of know that we're going to make them happy first. So they keep kind of like, let me keep crying about this. Let me keep going on about this. So we kind of put our energy into making them happy. And then we kind of forget about ourselves. It's like, wait, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with what's going on. So that could be kind of that harsh energy for ourselves, kind of like that reality wake up with this full moon in the sign of Capricorn is like, what are we willing to release and what are we willing to kind of bring on and go, it's my fault. I'm the one who kept trying to make everybody else happy. And now I've decided I'm not going to make everybody else happy. I'm going to make myself happy. And then I'll decide if I want to do something else. So that can kind of be an amazing energy with us. So let me get a card for Kathy, who's asking just for an angel card. So Kathy's angel card. Kind of feel like it's in this stack right here. There it is. It's the second one. It's the second one out. So Kathy, for you, the card I get is harmony. And this is a really important card because that's really what we're talking about is finding more harmony, especially with our full moon in the sign of Capricorn and this full moon about releasing and letting go, and Capricorn energy about like, let's organize and let's get this analysis going of what are we doing and how are we going to do this. That's a really important one to kind of realize is we always think that if we make everybody else harmonious or everybody else happy, then we can get to be happy. And it's the opposite way around. Once you make that decision that you're going to be happy and harmonious and balanced or whatever it is, you're going to feel that everywhere else. You are going to push that energy out over and over and over and over again. And that's the amazing part. It's like, wow, I never thought of it that way. I never thought of it in those terms. So it's kind of like once we allow ourselves to be happy and harmonious and balanced, then everybody else around us will find that as well. And so that's kind of like the opposite flipping, like, okay, this is the way we get to do it. That is a great way to really think about what's coming up around us, how to work with the energy. And a lot of times, just like you were talking, Kathy, like we don't even understand like why this energy is coming up at this time. And then we start looking at the stars and the planets and what's going on. And we're like, oh, that's why. That's why it's so important to understand planetary energies, because we'll start to feel things and it's like, why do I feel this way? Why am I feeling this way? And I will guarantee you, Kathy, if you're asking this question within a couple of nights, you are going to feel totally tired, totally exhausted, kind of like wiped out, worn out, not in a horrible way, but just kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm just feeling really, really tired. That is your indication it is time to take a salt tub, because that's going to help clear out the last of that negative energy that you've been carrying, that a lot of us have been carrying, and ready to move into a much better, much more amazing energy for us. So that's kind of that. Okay, when you get to that point, like, no, I need a salt tub, know that as soon as you get out of that salt tub, you need to climb in the bed and relax, because that's going to continue that process of let's move forward and let's get this energy going in the right direction. So that is just an amazing one for all of us, not just one person. It's a lot of people. Oh, Kathy's already saying, um, um, so Kathy's already like, yep, that's her right now, is overwhelmed, tired. I was talking to someone today and they were saying the same thing. And I was like, I'm kind of tired myself. I'm going to do that because it's one of those, like, that is a great way to do it. It is a great way to kind of help clear out the last of that energy. But if you're doing it tonight, Kathy, I guarantee you, you may have to do another short one or kind of like a salt tub in the next week or so to kind of finish off the last of that amazing energy, so that we're not holding on to anything that we shouldn't be. If no one else has any personal questions for my angel cards, I'm going to keep talking about our Capricorn energy. So Capricorn energy is all about the sea goat, and that's kind of ruled like this mythical half goat, half you're very welcome, Kathy. Half goat, half fish energy, and it really belongs kind of like never really belongs to the land or the sea. And so it's kind of like this rare vantage point of like the mixture of both land and sea energies. But it's also kind of that energy of like, we can go through anything, we can connect with anything, and we can make everything work. Now, our double full moon in the sign of Capricorn literally starts late tonight, early tomorrow morning, depending on what time zone you're in. And this is what we're going to be experiencing this year. Is kind of like during this time of like, in the middle of Cancer season, here we go. This means that we are going to be pulling out some of our own personal story to kind of bring, like, I'm tired of taking this baggage with me. I'm tired of bringing all of this with me. I am going to bring this to a new healed state for me and release all of this and let these endings go. And then part of it is going to be kind of releasing the story of like, what have I been holding on to? I am guilty as anybody else. I have stories that I still tell, like when I was in 6th grade, this happened, and when I was in all this kind of stuff. And some of those stories can be really fun and exciting, but usually, listen to my words, usually when someone's telling you that same story over and over and over and over and over again, it's a story where they're the victim and they're talking about it again and that sort of thing. I was with someone many, many years ago, and we were talking, and they had just gotten married, and it was kind of one of those like, interesting. And I could tell you just the way the new wife, and they had been married for like a month, less than a month. And the new wife, when the husband was starting to tell a story, rolled her eyes. And I'm just like, what? that, rolling her eyes that early in the story means that he tells this story all the time. And it means that he's still stuck in like being the victim, and which is not going to put him in a great position to be a great husband and be a great leader to his family. So it's one of those, literally within like 2 years, they were divorcing. It's like, yeah, it's one of those when someone keeps telling you that same emotional stuff. And those are kind of the things that are going to be coming up in our Cancer season, is those old emotional stories. Are you connecting to those old emotional stories and talking about them that like they happened last week or last month? That is no good for anybody. It's not good for you, and it's not good for anybody else. But we kind of keep relating to those injuries and those emotions, and we keep doing that. And that really connects us to our Cancer season, because that can be when we kind of carry our heart on our sleeve and kind of really talk about things. And Cancer really wants us to feel safe. And so it keeps bringing it up, going, hopefully, like this time that I bring it up, that and you're talking about it, that you are going to release this and find a safe place to talk about it and release it and let it go. Because if not, you get in that really stuck old energy, and it's like, okay, here we go again. We're talking about the old stuff again. We're talking about the icky stuff. And I will say that's kind of the fun part about us, is that we get to kind of really bring up and amp up some amazing energy for us. I'm talking about our Cancer season right now, that we're just opening up into. If you have an angel card question, make sure that you post your question and make sure it's really clear, so I get all of my information that I need to know from your angels and guides, and I'll be answering that as well. So one of the things about Cancer season is sometimes people can feel like it can be pretty harsh, because not only are things coming up for you to talk about, it's also coming up for other people to talk about. Like they're bringing up their old stuff as well. So that's kind of like your old stuff is coming up, their old stuff is triggering, and that can kind of be like almost like a one up. You, well, this happened to me, and well, this happened to me, and well, this happened to me, and this happened to me. And that's not a great place to be. It's really not a great place for us to be at. But pay attention to the energy around the Capricorn moon and release the old stuff. If you're still carrying that old baggage, it is not good at all. Now, kind of connecting our solstice energy with our Capricorn full moon, this is all about a very powerful connection that our universe wants us to release anything that's blocking us, anything that's holding us back. Kind of like let it burn off in the amazing sun today and move forward. Don't let this stuff keep coming up over and over again. So many times people kind of like hang on to that and kind of like keep going on. Now, one of the things I think is really interesting is if you think back to what you were doing, or what was the intentions that you set in December, and the December solstice 2023, a lot of those things that you wanted, the intentions that you set, or the goals that you set, or manifestations that you set, have they come true? If they have, that's great. That's an amazing energy. And if they haven't, why haven't they? What are you holding on to and you haven't let go of, that you're ready to let go of? Like, what is that energy that you're ready to, like, yes, I'm ready to release this. Yes, I'm ready to allow this energy to come forward. And make sure, like, I've still got my angel cards. So if you have any questions, I will be answering them for you. I've got a client right here, Josie, and Josie is asking for just an angel card. I love kind of those, because they're kind of like, let me kind of really connect with your angels and stuff. So Josie is asking for angel card, and what I'm getting is her her guardian angel has a message for her. Now, this happens quite often, and a lot of times, like, that message light is blinking, kind of like, you've got a new voicemail, listen to this, because that's a very powerful energy for us to connect into. Our angels and guides, especially our archangels, always have some very powerful messages for us and really want us to connect in. That is the cool part. It's like, connect into this amazing energy, connect into what's changing or modifying around us, and that can be really an amazing energy. Let's see. But knowing that your guardian angel has a message for you, one of the things I will get is that all of this is a really powerful message for you, Josie. And this is all about releasing and letting go, because you, just like so many other people, and I am guilty of it as well, we're hanging on to a lot of the old icky energy from the past, and we're not moving forward. We are totally not moving forward. We are not pushing that energy away far enough. Like I said, if you start feeling tired and kind of like, I'm just really tired, I want to take another nap, even though I just woke up from a nap, this is going to be an interesting energy of like letting things go and take your salt tubs the way you're supposed to. If you're not, it can be very powerful energy for us of kind of like hanging on to the past or hanging on to things that we no longer require in our lives. Like we've let it go, but the last of it's still hanging on. So let's push that energy off. That can be a very harsh one. I've been dealing with a lot of business clients the last couple of days, so it's kind of been a very interesting energy for me. Business clients have amazing energy because they're always working for, okay. This one is just a general card, since no one's asked me a question. A general card about kind of like what we've been talking about, our full moon in the sign of Capricorn. And the card I pull is surrender and release. Of course, it's surrender and release, because that's what a full moon is all about, surrendering and releasing things that no longer work for us, no longer are valid, no longer are helping us in where we want to go in our life. That is a really good one. One of the things that I will tell you is if you are not connecting to new energy, or if you're finding yourself like, I'm really telling the same story over and over again, this is the time to let that go. And forgiveness isn't about the other person, it's about you, but you can forgive yourself for being in that situation. You can forgive a lot of things, and that doesn't mean that you're not taking your fair share of the blame. It just means I'm not going to hold you responsible for making me feel good anymore. I'm gonna take it over. I'm gonna really allow that energy to kind of amp us up and kind of really get into some amazing energies. So the next one, just for our double Capricorn full moon, this is the card right there. It's the card. It's the card. This is all about friendships too. I think one of the things that when we connect to old friendships, when we kind of have those wave of emotions of like, what do we want to connect into and how we want to connect in, sometimes old friendships, we always think that they should be balanced and energetic. And if they're not, maybe it's something that we need to kind of like correct or fix in some way, shape, or form. That can be a great one. And I will say kind of the cool part is if it's not balanced, and usually if y'all are talking to me, y'all are the ones that are kind of like on the low side, and the other one's on the high side. It's one of those, like I said, that's that clairsensitive energy, and that can be a very emotional one for us to kind of connect to. That is a very harsh energy to be in. Thank you. Life is bad. It's one of those, I love when we kind of learn something new and kind of hold on to something differently. But I will tell you, friendships are one of those that we should really keep in balance. And it's something that we should be in balance with at all times. And if we're not, it's one of those, it's our fault because we're not saying something. We're not saying like, wait, it's my turn. Hey, wait, it's my turn to do this, or my turn to do something else. That can be an amazing energy for us, kind of energy. It's kind of like, yeah, let's bring in this to a new healed state, because that's going to be an amazing energy for us. Let's do another one just for the full moon in our double full moon. And I almost feel like it's this first one for whatever reason. Trust. Trust that you're listening to this for a reason. Trust that you're meant to balance the energy right now in what's going on. And trust that if you have a question, you can ask it. It's one of those of your angels, your guides, myself, anything that we can do to help and support your energy is really, really important. A lot of times we don't feel supported. We don't feel like we can trust ourselves because we've given up so much to so many other people that we kind of like, what is the heck is going wrong? That can be a very harsh feeling for us. And that can also push us in some amazing energies of like, now it's time to let it go. So, okay. So Sandra's got a question here. I'm thinking you're asking, it's like a hard question. I think you kind of misspelled a couple of words in there. It's kind of driving my crazy. Life is bad, bad. You need to ask a question. I love your energy. I love your energy. You've got to connect with me. So, Sandra, I'm kind of thinking is you went to, uh, but I feel like you've seen some angels, and that's what you're really asking about is seeing some angels or guides, or you saw something that you thought was an angel and guide, and you were kind of like not sure of it. What they're telling me is balance. That was the message that you should have been getting at that time of balance. There is a balance in what you're trying to do, and there's a balance in where you're going as well. And I also feel like you have an amazing energy and an amazing insight in all of this. This is going to be an amazing energy year for you. And I will say, this almost feels like a year of letting go for you, Sandra. And once you start to find the balance, things are going to start. Anything that's not in balance are going to fly away. It's kind of like, oh, you're not in balance, you're out. That is going to be an amazing energy. And I want you to know that your angels and guides are supporting you in what is going on and how things are moving in and around your world. And you are ready for all of this amazing energy. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's do a couple of other cards for literally, this is kind of like, I almost feel like the summer solstice is what we need to do this for. And this is the card right here. The summer solstice, I will say this is all about new beginnings. Of course, the summer solstice is all about new beginnings, but a full moon is all about releases. But if you're not ready to start your new beginnings, this is the time to really start bringing that amazing energy forward. Bringing an amazing energy forward, kind of like releasing things so you can start that new beginning off right. Because we're going to have literally in like 2 weeks, we're going to be having a new moon in the sign of Cancer while we're in this Cancer season, and it is going to be a very powerful one. It is going to be a really amazing energy for us. This is going to be a great one. So this is all about releasing stuff now so we can surge forward, and we can start surging forward in our beliefs and our energy and what's going on. This is going to be an amazing time for us to really start pushing our energies forward. Okay, Mystic, I'm going to answer the first one for you just because it's one of those. The other one is kind of like not really sure what you want, like what spiritual gifts you're asking for. So, Mystic, I'm going to ask any career advice for you. So, I'm going to pull an angel card for you for this one is it right here. So your angel card is all about miracles, and this is coming in really, really strong. And I feel like, Mystic, there are a lot of miracles around you, a lot of amazing energy around you. And I will tell you, this is kind of the cool part about it. Like, the cool part is you have the miracles around you, but you don't trust that the miracles are coming in. You're thinking about them, you want them in, but you're almost like not allowing it to come in and really, really amplify this energy. So it's one of those, believe that the miracle can happen for you. Mystic, you have got to believe that they're coming in just for you. And I know for a lot of people, what they'll think of is that, like, why would I get a miracle? Why? I'm not that special. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not this. I'm not that. I am not that special. Why are angels coming to talk to me or whatever else? I guarantee you, you are just as important as anybody else, no matter what else is going on. And you deserve to get that miracle in your life, and your miracle of like what's coming in and how things are happening for you. Because this is super powerful. This is super, super powerful, not just for you, but for so many people to know that you have to allow the miracle in. Just thinking about it, like, it would be great if blah, blah, blah happened, or it would be great if da, 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 da happened. That's a great way to think about this, but it's not necessarily letting it in. Think about it coming in your life. Like, how would you feel if you got that dream job? How would you feel if you got the dream, whatever it is, or you started your own business, or whatever your dreams are for your own career? Like, what if that happened for you? Now, granted, it may not happen today or tomorrow, but just allowing it in is going to allow that to come into you and bringing that amazing energy. What is coming up next for you? You've got to allow this to come in and make some amazing changes. And now is the time in our double full moon in the sign of Capricorn, letting things go that haven't worked in the past, doubting yourself, doubting that you deserve it, doubting that things are going to change, doubting that this is going to happen for you. Let's let that's like just let's just let that go. Let's let that go and let's step into the idea of, wouldn't it be great if blah blah blah. Wouldn't it be great if I got my dream job? Wouldn't it be great if I got the next promotion? Wouldn't it be great if I got a salary bump? Wouldn't it be great if I got more money per hour? Wouldn't it be great if I got the perfect schedule that works in alignment with everything else that I'm doing? Wouldn't it be great? Because when you say that, wouldn't it be great? You're allowing that energy. It's kind of like one step forward to a really positive affirmations. And that is a great way to think about this. This is a great way to think of like, yes, this amazing energy is coming in at us. And it is a great way to understand that you deserve this. It's not just for you, it's for everybody. We all deserve amazing lives. We all deserve this amazing energy. And if we're not getting it, what's the point? Like literally, what is the point? What is the point of this? I tell people that all the time, like, what is the point of this? That is a great one. I am putting down below, Mystic, I am putting a connection to some affirmations that I have, and all you need to do is put in your email address and it'll send you a list of affirmations. These are amazing affirmations that I use all the time. I love affirmations, and find the ones that really resonate with you. Make sure that when you are saying them, the first time that you read them, look at yourself in the mirror, because a lot of times what will happen is if you're reading a statement you don't believe, your face will start going like this. No. So if you were to say, like, look in the mirror and say, I have $1 million, for whatever reason, your face will start going like, no, don't have $1 million. But if you go, I can imagine myself having $1 million, that is completely different. You will see your face going, yeah, I can see myself having $1 million. But if you start saying a statement that's untrue, and that's what happens with a lot of people's affirmations when they're talking about affirmations, the affirmations that they give are not truthful. They're like, I'm already a millionaire. Well, if you're not, your body's going like, you're a big fat liar. Like, no, that's not going to work. If you say affirmations like, I have the perfect job and the perfect mate and the perfect this and the perfect that and the perfect family, it's not going to work out that way. It's not going to be healthy for you, and you're not going to find what you really desire or want in your life. That's the crazy part about it. Hot tea, love my hot tea. So make sure that when you're stating affirmations, when someone gives you a list of affirmations like the list that I'm putting down there, make sure that you are looking at that list of affirmations and using only the ones that you're going, when you look at the mirror, you are nodding yes to. Those are the affirmations that are perfectly aligned for you and perfectly in balance for what you want to do and how you want to create your world. That is the amazing part of this, is like, yes, we want amazing energy. Okay, so if you're just joining in, make sure that you connect in and ask me an amazing question. I love answering angel questions. Using my angel cards is a great way to do it. And I will tell you, this is kind of the fun part for me. It's kind of like a little weirdly difficult to answer questions online. It kind of can be a little interesting, but I think it's really fun and cool because this one is coming forward about our double full moon. This is all about, and I know this is also coming up really, really soon, that we also have, with all of this energy going on in Capricorn season, we also have Neptune, and that's going to be physically shaping and changing our dreams. Like, what are your dreams that you're having? What are those crazy, weird dreams that you keep getting over and over and over? Usually a past life. I know people are like, what? But I will say, start keeping track of your dreams, because I will do a couple of Thursday night lives where I am doing dream interpretation. I love doing that. Dreams are really amazing, and sometimes they can give you some great, amazing insight into what's going on. So that can be like, yes, amazing kind of thing. So if you've got a question and you want to kind of like add your question to what I'm doing, bring it on. I love that. This one is all about kind of the Capricorn part of our full moon. And this is all about setting those intentions. What are the intentions that you're choosing to set? What is the intention that you're like, yes, I want this. Yes, I want this affirmation. Yes, I want this to come through. What are the intentions that you're setting? So many times people do not set intentions well, or they really don't set kind of like, okay, whatever happens, happens. No, you really have to set the intentions and allow it to come in. Just like I was talking to Mystic, it's like you have got to open up to that energy and the possibilities that things are going to open up. That is the cool part. Like things are going to change, or the right energy is going to be coming at you. That is like, yes, let's bring that in. Let's bring that amazing energy in and open up to that energy. Like, yes, yes, yes. I love that part. Okay, so let's go back and let's know. Someone else has got a question. I'm going to keep going. Let's see. We've got this one back here. This one right here from the backside was already calling to me. Listen to yourself. When you are working with a full moon, when you are working with energy like that, anything that you keep saying isn't working right, think about it and go, how can I change this out? How can I upgrade my energy? Because if you're stuck in that old stale energy, it's staying in that old stuck energy over and over and over and over and over again. And it's one of those, listening to yourself are kind of like the stories that you tell the most, or thinking about things. When you start thinking about that, like, oh, this is great, or I'm telling this story again, it's one of those, why are you telling that story again? That full moon is like pushing you to like let those stories go and step into a new healthy you energy. What is that amazing healthy you energy that you're ready to step into? Because once you're ready to step into it, once you allow it to come in, it will come in some big amazing ways. But you really have to open up to that amazing energy. Now, I will tell you, we're getting close to the end. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. But one of the things I will tell you is we literally have some amazing energy. And I guarantee you next week, we're going to be talking about some amazing energies coming up in July, because July has some amazing stuff. I will tell you, yeah, July is going to change, rock our world. I guarantee it. So Kathy's asking, what if you can only remember one or two things about your dream? Right. If you can only remember one or two things about your dream, write them down. And I often tell people, so I'm going to give you my secret. So one of the things is I always have a notebook by my side. And before I go to sleep at night, I will write down the date up at the top so I can keep track of like when I had the dream. But the other one is a click pen. I literally click the pen. I'll write down whatever I felt whenever I woke up. Sometimes I take it to the bathroom because I have like a small one. So I'll write while I'm in the bathroom and kind of like write down what I felt, saw. And sometimes just the next day, if I start thinking about that again, like, wow, I really felt sad during that dream, or happy, or whatever it is, and kind of recounting some of it to myself and re-explaining it, I will start getting more details. So then I can start adding more details to what's going on. But it usually is you yourself turned off part of the dream. It's kind of like you turn off the movie before it ever actually got started. So you watched a little segment of it, but you didn't see enough of it to understand the story. And you never have to see all of it to understand it. You only have to see enough of it to understand. And I often tell people it's almost like kind of like those crazy Hallmark movies. You don't have to see the whole movie. You just have to see like the beginning, a little bit of the middle, and a little bit of the end. You're like, okay, I figured it out. This is happening, kind of thing. That is a great way to think about our dreams as well. We don't have to have all of it. The more pieces you have, the better it's going to be. But also think about like, how do you feel about what do you see in your dream? How did you feel about this? Where were you at? And always think about like that component of how did you feel about it, because that can add a much more deeper level to what you're dreaming about. So that can be like, yes, a really cool fun one, not only for you but for other people as well. That can be just like, let's do that. That can be an amazing energy of just like, what are we bringing in, and really understanding our dreams a lot better. Now, for me as a dream interpreter, the more details you have, the better off I'm going to understand what you're talking about. Now, a lot of times I can like image some of it. I can see some parts of it, but I may not be able to see all of the parts of it. I may not get all of it in there. So that's just one of those, like, I wish I could. Or sometimes people leave out big sections, but keep pushing the same ones, especially if you've had the same dream several times. Usually that's what's telling you, like, this is a really important dream, or it's very much a message from someone who's passed, or your angels and guides. Or it could also be messages from a past life for you. That can be a very important one, of just kind of like entering that energy of, like, yes, let's bring that forward. Yes, let's bring this into a new understanding. So the more you kind of connect into that energy, the better off we are going to be. That is a great way to think about that, and bringing that amazing energy in. And do I have any more questions before I sign off? Any other questions that I haven't missed? I try to make sure I get as many as I can, especially if I've got my connection to you. I love doing my questions. I love doing questions. I'm going to do one more card. They're telling me to do one more card for our double full moons in the sign of Capricorn. And this is our card right here. I know this is an interesting. Thank you, Kathy. You are amazing, and I will have a very exciting weekend. I'm really, really excited about a lot of things that are coming up. This is one about the last one about this full moon, in double full moon in the sign of Capricorn. With everything else that we have going on, this is going to be really amping up our romantic side of us. When we start letting go of the past, we are really opening our arms, our hearts, and our minds into what's about to come in. And usually that means something that we love. It doesn't always mean a romantic love or a new partner. It could be a new job that you love, a new person that you love, a new friend that you love, a new store that you find. Like, whatever it is, you're going to be opening up your energy into this amazing side of, let's come into what's coming up next. Let's move into this amazing, healthy energy for us of, like, moving forward in all of this, and really enjoying what's happening, really enjoying what's coming up, not only for you, but for other people. When we really start loving what's happening for other people, we really open up the doors for ourselves. I know it happens that way. I thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. I will be on live next week. I will not be on live. I'm trying to think, like the 4th of July. I think that's a Thursday. I will not be live that day. You're very welcome, Mystic. Come and see me next week. I will be on live Instagram and Facebook, and then I won't be on live the following week on YouTube. We'll have to see what I can figure out. I'm always posting all that kind of stuff. Make sure that you are looking me up. I am going to be posting. I'm really enjoying posting and getting some new information out, because we have such amazing energy coming in with our double full moons in the sign of Capricorn, as well as whatever else is happening in July. It is going to be an amazing month. I thank y'all so much for joining me tonight, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.